Hello, my name is Jan Kubań, and in today's talk, in the series of Peoples and the System, I have an honor and pleasure to talk to His Excellency, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Poland, Mr. Jürg Burri. Hello. So, our conversation is produced in collaboration with the following institutions. It's a Swiss embassy, of course, a Pafere Foundation, which is represented by myself, YouTube channel Nam Zależy, which can be literally translated We Do Care, the Language of Liberty Institute from Phoenix, Arizona, and the Liberty International Society, which is spreading the message about liberty. Our goal for today is to present the Swiss political system and, if it's possible, to find out how one can learn more about this system using Swiss diplomatic institutions. So, the Swiss political system is unique in the world. And could you introduce its main features to our international audience, please?
Yeah, thank you. So good morning, my name is Jürg Burri, I'm the Ambassador of Switzerland to Poland, and indeed we have been pretty convinced that our system, our political system, is very unique in the world, and that's why the Swiss embassy in Poland has gone through all the country and through most of the universities, bigger universities of the country, with an exhibit about modern direct democracy. And we try to show with this exhibit that the Swiss political system actually bears three key features which are very special and very connected. The first is what you mentioned, the democratic system, which is semi-direct, so people can vote down any law with a referendum, or they can initiate a new law with a popular initiative. Those are two unique tools. That's the first point. The second point is the subsidiarity combined with federalism. So we have a state which is on three levels. We have the commune, we have the canton, which corresponds to the voivode in Poland, and then we have the federal level, the central government. And the powers are basically allocated from down to up and not from up to down. So you have in this system on every level the possibility to decide locally. And these three factors make the Swiss system really hard to compare with other systems, but there are takeaways from that system which can be good for any country.
I have a question, personal one. Are you proud of this system? You personally?
Well, I should not personally be proud because it's not me personally that has built this system, but I think the Swiss society, since the revolution, the invasion of Napoleon, and then the building of the Swiss federal state, has constantly been optimizing this system. And so I think we can be very proud on this Swiss system.
And the way, okay, you are dealing with this system. So the main question which bothers me is how you manage to create this system, because it's completely unbelievable that someone abroad can do the same. This bottom up system. How did you achieve this? How it came into being?
Mm-hmm. I think the history of Switzerland is slightly different from the history of most countries. Because when we say the Swiss Confederation, we do mean confederation. We have at our founding date, 1291, three cantons that merge together and build this confederation. And then new cantons consecutively are added until we end up with today's territory of Switzerland. So you see, we never had the situation that out of a kingdom one was trying to think, how do we organize the territory and then divide it into districts? But it's like a puzzle where the parts came together and became one. And therefore, when the parts came together, the representatives of the cantons always had to decide which powers do we allocate to the central government, not the central government deciding which powers do we delegate to the cantons.
So it's a foundation of confederation, I think, yes?
Indeed, it's a bottom-up process.
So we should explain this to our audience, because it's really confederation. And as I heard in your voice, you have real confederation, because other countries, they use confederation just as a to mask, their political system, and they use it in a different meaning, I think.
Indeed, you can discuss about the term of confederation, but what really shows to me in everyday life that Switzerland is a true confederation is that you have legal competencies on every level. So you have things which are ruled on the commune level. That's things like how many schoolhouses, how is the firefighting being organized. You also have this in other countries, of course. Then on cantonal level, you have, for example, which language you speak. It's decided on cantonal level. The canton decide which are our cantonal levels. And then on the federal level is foreign affairs, customs, and so on, the typical issues
for
which concern the whole confederation. And not only you have these different levels, but also you have the obligation to finance what you decide. So as a Swiss citizen, I get a tax bill from my commune, I get the tax bill from the canton, I get the federal tax bill. So I know what I'm paying for every level, and every level decides on its own how much money is required from the citizen to fund the tasks that he or that the level has decided. So it's really an autonomy which is quite complete.
So I would like to emphasize to our viewers that every idea proposed by the canton should have to be financed by their own means. So this is really unique. So thank you for this. So the Americans are very proud of their democracy, and they want to spread it around the world. Is this the same with the Swiss? Do you, the Swiss, want to spread this idea of direct democracy and around the world?
I think when you talk about the United States and about Switzerland, we're both old democracies. We call each other sister republics because we have a little bit similar intellectual tradition. But when it's about the spreading, I do not think that Switzerland really has the ambition to export its political system. There is no copy-paste Switzerland in another part of the world. However, because we have such a lively democratic process within the country where people decide on many things, we have mechanisms, and these mechanisms can maybe be used. So, for example, we could consider thinking when we have protests of teachers in a country, like we had here in Poland, and you see that there is a problem with the salary of the teachers. And because Switzerland is not a centralized country, the teachers are being paid in Switzerland by the canton, so by a lower level. And immediately there is competition on the salary level between the cantons.
And quality of work, of course.
And that competition always helps. You said it. You saw the point immediately. Competition always generates two things: quality and also a certain justice of the remuneration. And the teachers maybe have to protest less in Switzerland, because if one canton thinks that he has a problem with the quality of the school system, he will raise the salaries and teachers will go there, and then the others are forced to compete, and that automatically gives a positive effect on the management of the school system, I would say.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a very good point. Is there an international program in the Swiss diplomatic institution which can introduce people who want to know more about this your political system? Can they address to the Swiss embassy and receive some maybe papers, books, or indications how to find out, how to learn more?
I have to come back to this, which is our paper, and also gives basic lessons on how the Swiss democracy is organized. This paper exists in many languages, is available at all Swiss embassies, but then also I have to refer to the digital space, and there is this website, the House of Switzerland website, which gives this information digitally, but also then you find many Swiss websites which explain the Swiss system in one way or the other. So also there we have a wide variety of information sources, and I can tell you they are easy to find.
So one technical question, is the information given here are copyright protected, or we can spread it, translate, and spread it around the world?
That I will have to clarify for you.
Okay.
I was not prepared
so please,
for such a technical
question. We will make a sign about this, okay, in our program then. And what are the goals of this program? I mean, so do you want to achieve something, or just you are spreading the message, and if someone picks up this message, picks up the idea, it's good. If no one picks up, it's also good. Or you have,
The primary objective of public diplomacy is to show the assets of your country. And the Swiss assets are certainly the political system, which provides lots of stability and makes Switzerland a very secure place. But then also it's the innovation, which makes Switzerland a very competitive country, a very economically performant country, and a country which is interesting to work with. And then a third message would be that Switzerland is a beautiful country. And when you visit, you have a very enjoyable time because it's such a beautiful country. So why would we tell people that we have an interesting and stable political system? It is because other countries are our partners. And it's always good when partners understand you when they deal with you. And this political system, of course, has a couple of specificities. It has many advantages, but it also has the specificity that certain decisions take some time because they have to be coordinated between the various levels. And that, for example, that in Switzerland law cannot be changed overnight, but that it will take certain time, is something which is important for the Polish population to know.
Yeah. Recently, the Swiss embassy toured around Poland with the exhibit on direct democracy. Why? Was it your initiative, or you were asked?
It was a global initiative that we wanted to put our political system into the center of attention. But I took it as a key to go to the regions of Poland, because I noticed after half a year of my ambassadorship here in Poland that Warsaw is a very tough territory for a communicator. In Poland, all the media, all the institutions concentrate on Warsaw. While as in the voivods and even in big and important cities like Gdańsk, like Wrocław, like Kraków, like Poznan, you find lots of interest first on how could the cities better run their own business if they had more competencies. So they are eager to know how it works in Switzerland. And secondly, you get, when you come with good topics, you get a very big attention for your public diplomacy. And so we decided, let's do it. And we did this roadshow on modern direct democracy, and it was quite successful until we got a bit slowed down by the COVID virus.
Yeah, but I hope you will catch up. And what were the reactions of Polish audience?
First of all, I must say that I was impressed with the basic knowledge of the Polish audience, politicians, officials, journalists, and also students know quite a bit about the Swiss political system. I think this has something to do with the books that are being used in Polish schools. And I saw that they explain systems, democracy, direct democracy on the Swiss example, then the UK example for the constitutional monarchy, and so on and so on. So Switzerland is in the Polish books already one of the 5-6 examples for political systems. And then this is really beautiful to know is Polish people are interested in Switzerland. When there's an article in the paper about Switzerland, many read it, and you are confronted with many, details about Switzerland. They ask, is this true?
Yeah.
Is it true that the Swiss were voting against the fact that they would have more vacation? Is this true? I can't believe it. And you say, yeah, it was in the paper, it was correct. You read it correctly. We did. And there is a reason. We had the feeling this would be hard for our economy to remain competitive if we have that 6th week of vacation. Because
Swiss pay for their ideas, so they know it, okay? So if they pay by their own money, they do care. So I think that it's really obvious for me. Did you achieve your goals? I mean, did you sow a seed of direct democracy in Polish audience?
I have seen that not mostly the voting and election system has found interest, but the ideas of federalism, how you organize the voivodes and the central state, how you organize this relation. And we had a number of events with universities and Polish NGOs here in Warsaw and all over the countries, where we had expert exchange between Polish experts and Swiss experts. And there I have seen that many ideas, many concrete ideas have been picked up, and that some of these ideas also enter into the debate of this very lively association of Polish cities and towns. And I think that is a nice result of this campaign or this tour that we had with this topic, modern direct democracy.
Yeah, and now I would like to switch to Swiss-Polish relationships. What are these main features? How you see these, our relations, Poland and Switzerland?
Well, Switzerland and Poland have long-standing and solidly good relations on the political level, but also and even more on the economic level. We have more than 200 Swiss companies here in Poland, and they occupy 64,000 people. These are high-quality jobs, which are exactly in the strand or on the level where the Polish government wants to develop the country, not to be a cheap labor country, but an innovative country. And the Swiss companies here are producing high-quality products, are providing high-quality services, and need very well-trained Polish labor force. And the third level where it's very good is there is a good cultural exchange between both our countries. And also there is more and more traveling back and forth, also moving back and forth. The Polish community in Switzerland has been growing. And I would say these people-to-people relations are a very strong and a very positive factor of our relations.
Yeah, thank you. And what are the upcoming projects about Swiss political system? Do you plan, because COVID it seems it will go down, so we will be more open. Do you already plan, you have plans for spreading the idea of Swiss political system in Poland?
We still have a couple of events planned around this project of modern direct democracy. However, this year's main topic is clean tech, because Switzerland is not only a democratic but also quite a sustainable country. And we have mastered to bring our energy consumption down by using smart technologies. And we want to present Swiss smart technologies to Poland. So our main focus is currently shifting, but of course the current situation brought in a third very, very strong, predominant topic, and that is the humanitarian action, where Switzerland and Poland both make efforts. Poland a huge, incredible and impressive effort to help Ukraine, which has been invaded, and the humanitarian drama, it just asks us to be put on the agenda as the first item.
Yeah, and could you say a little bit more, because we are very concerned. So, what kind of help we can expect? Poland deals with a lot of people. I was a volunteer last night in the central station. So it's the people are running. They are losing their homes, and we have to help them. For the time being, we are struck with the flow of the huge amount of people. And what are your ideas, the Swiss ideas? How can we help? How you, as a Switzerland, you can help them?
Mm-hmm. Well, first I want to congratulate you that you do this, because many Polish people currently do this. They're out on the streets helping, they're out in the train stations helping, and I see them. And I think it's wonderful, this human solidarity, which really goes like a wave through the country. And I think this is something that you will be also very proud of in the aftermath, because this doing things together is something which shapes a generation, and which is not only gives a positive image of Poland in the world, but which will also be in your memories for very long.
Yeah.
So what is Switzerland doing? First of all, we share positions on this conflict. Second, we impose sanctions together. Thirdly, in Switzerland also we do accept refugees from Ukraine. Currently you can travel for free by train through Poland into Germany, through Germany into Switzerland, and then within Switzerland to your destination. So the public transport is offered, and in Switzerland we have the structures and the special status which we have just created for this situation ready, so that it is not complicated for the Ukrainian citizens or people that have lived in Ukraine and do not have a place to go to arrive to Switzerland. So everything has become very easy on the side of the paperwork, identification and so on. You no longer can only travel without visa when you have a biometric passport, which was the Schengen rule before. So all that has been lifted. And then the next one, that's the humanitarian aid. And we are now almost 3 weeks since the start of this attack. And in this time, the Swiss humanitarian aid and the Embassy of Switzerland in Poland, but also our representation in Romania, Moldavia, with borders to Ukraine, have facilitated humanitarian transports into Ukraine as long as still possible. We had first a special flight 2-3 days after the start of the war with humanitarian goods, beds, tents and so on, which went into the border area. Then we came with medical goods, provision, hygiene goods. A whole train has been cleared just this weekend to go, hopefully, still to Kiev. And more shipments are to arrive. However, we want to join the international community, and as soon as ICRC, World Food Programme, UN and so on will be set up, we will do what all of us should do. Take the wallet and donate, because I think that this is really a moment in time where we can make a difference also with money. Also Swiss citizens who are not so close to the humanitarian disaster like you are here. You see it in the streets of Warsaw.
We feel
from their
it.
home.
We feel it.
They
yes.
can donate to these institutions, and the institutions will support activists in their work and directly the refugees. So this is really a call for solidarity for everybody.
And thank you very much for this statement. And coming back to our topic of Swiss political system, how do you consider our book, which is entitled Do You Know Why You Don't Know Who the President of Switzerland Is? Could you advise it or not to our young international audience?
I unfortunately don't know the book in detail, but it has been mentioned to me on many occasions, also because it's a book which is also issued in Polish. And frankly speaking, I find the title is really very typical. Because when you have a political system, in our political system, the presidency is rotating every year, and so we have a different president of the Swiss Confederation every year. The president is still carrying on his normal duty, so he or she is not a full-time president, and that really shows that the Swiss democratic system try to make the pyramid flat, to give power to the bottom and not steep and give power to the top. And that's why the book is very interesting. And as I said, it has been issued in Polish.
Yes, and also in English, so you can find it on internet in the Google store. So we advise to read this book as a very short and easy to read introduction to the Swiss political system. Your Excellencies, thank you very much. I am very grateful to you for this talk. I think that we will spread this message about Swiss political system, its main features, federalism, subsidiarity, paying for their own ideas with your own money, not some else people money. So thank you very much. And I hope we can meet in the nearest future and discuss another topics.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased with your interest. I'm also honored with your interest. I'm honored with everybody who is interested and cares about Switzerland. And good luck.
Thank you.